I was 6 when a car accident stole both my parents. I was left in a world that felt too big and too empty. My grandmother stepped in, a quiet hero in a small village tucked far from the noise of cities. She taught me respect, hard work, and survival. In our little corner of the world, she was my everything, my mother, my friend, my shield. Life was simple but tough. After school, I trekked to the market to help Grandma sell vegetables under the scorching sun. We'd sit side by side, her weathered hands arranging tomatoes, while I called customers, shy but eager to help. Our village was small, everyone knew everyone, and respect was a currency. I greeted the elders with a nod, kept my head down, and worked hard. Friends were few, Grandma filled every gap, but one day everything changed. I was 16, just back from fetching water from the stream a few kilometers away. My arms ached from carrying the heavy bucket, my feet dusty from the long walk. I was alone at home, preparing to head to the market to join Grandma. Then came a knock. My heart skipped. It was Mr. Ben, the rich man in the next compound who loomed over our village like a shadow. He was powerful, feared, the kind of man whose name made people lower their voices. I'd always greeted him politely when I passed him on the path, his cold eyes barely meeting mine. That was all I knew of him until that moment. "Sarah," he said, his voice heavy, "where's your grandmother?" I told him she was at the market, expecting him to leave. His presence made my skin prickle, my stomach knot, but he didn't leave. He stepped closer, filling the doorway, blocking the light. I was small, powerless, and what happened next broke me. He took my innocence, my screams muffled by his strength, my struggles useless against his weight. When it was over, he leaned in close, his breath hot against my ear. "Tell anyone, and you're dead," he hissed. His money bought loyalty, his influence silenced truth. Everyone knew him. I stumbled to the market, tears burning my cheeks, my body trembling. Grandma saw my face and knew something was wrong before I could speak. I choked out the truth, each word a knife in my chest. Her eyes blazed with a fury I'd never seen. She grabbed my hand and we marched to Mr. Ben's house. He stood there, calm, denying everything with a smirk, his voice dripping with arrogance. Grandma's rage met his cold denial, and we left with nothing but her trembling hands holding mine. We went to the village council, then the local police post, but his money spoke louder than my pain. Whispers and gossips followed us. People who once smiled at me now looked away. I felt like a ghost, haunted by what he'd done, by the shame that wasn't mine to carry. Depression sank its claws into me. I stopped eating and stopped talking. One night, I stood at the edge of the stream, staring into the water, wondering if it could wash away the hurt forever. But a local nurse, Miss Clara, saw me fading. She listened when I thought no one would. She held my hand and promised me justice. She took my story to a higher authority, far from the village's corrupt grip. Months later, I stood in a courtroom, my voice shaking but steady as I told the truth. Mr. Ben's money couldn't reach that far. He was arrested, sentenced to life. The village whispered again, but this time it was about his fall. That victory came because I spoke. Silence would have let him win, let him hurt others. The trauma still lingers. Some nights I wake up gasping, his shadow in my dreams. But I'm healing step by step because of Nurse Clara, because of Grandma, because I found my voice. To every girl, every woman carrying this pain, speak. Your voice is your power. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Stella Care Hub. Let's heal, one story at a time.